Hello and welcome to A Flock of Birds. The episode for today will be about utensils to be able to feed your little baby bird with. As you can see here, I have a spoon. This is a 20 cc syringe. This is a 10. That's a 1 cc. That's a 10 out of the package. Right here. It's a 10 and it still has the lettering on it. This is a 20 and this is a 60. This right here is also a 20, but it's a different type. Okay, what we're going to talk about is how to use them and what kinds are the best kinds to use. Okay, this here is considered an O-ring because you have the little O-ring right here. These are replaceable, so if you want one of these and you can buy them, you can also use the injectors, but I recommend that you don't. You can buy these online at different places. You just have to look and check. This here is an O-ring as well as that one. These are quite a bit cheaper and it matches with this one. So when you're shopping for these, this is a 20 cc lure lock O-ring syringe. So in my opinion, these are the best ones to use because they're not as difficult to keep them after a while. This here, let's go back to here. The 20 cc is what you would use for like sun conures when they're little babies and as they develop, and other types of birds that are bigger. The 1 cc here, as you can tell, this is for a smaller bird. It comes apart, goes down just like that, and it goes back up. The tip is not soft like the other ones. It's kind of hard. It's for the smaller birds and for the more inexperienced. It's only a 1 cc though. That's the only downfall to that. And this one here is a 10 cc plunger. This is the plunger right here. Dropped it. And as you can tell, I don't want to do it to that one. As you can tell, these plungers, after a while, they come right off with no problem, because they're considered a one-use syringe. This also is a lure lock. Then you have the 61 here that is a hard tip. These are for your bigger birds, your macaws and what have you. This is very hard and it has a length where you can cut to a certain length, but you got to be careful if you cut this because you'll have to make sure it's not sharp. Okay, and back to this, as you can tell, this here has a metal tip here. What you do is you take this piece here, all this is latex, a little piece of latex tube, and you put it on the end there and you slide it right on. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. Like that. I can't get the best in the world, but hey, right there. And you see that's how it gets on. I can't get it on one-handed, and my phone don't have pause, so get the idea. Okay, now back up here, back to these here, the tips of these. A lot of people like to cut them because they're so long. I don't recommend you cutting them, because if you cut them, it makes them really sharp and it's really hard to dull them back from the way they are now. I've known many of people that's had problems that is punctures crops because of them being sharp and them cutting it the way it is. If it's a small bird, then you go with the little one here, or they have they have a 10 cc and a 20 cc like this, but the tip is together. It's on there. It doesn't unscrew or anything. So that way, it's flexible too. It's a like a jelly tip. Okay, now on to teats. That is the little tip here that unscrews. That's gonna be difficult. Try this one. As you can tell, they're a pain. This here, all it does is unscrew like this. Set that over there. And as you can look inside it, it's got a little twist to it to where that little teat right there would twist up into it. Then when you go to put one on, You just stick it back on like so, and you screw it back, and you're done. Okay. Now, as far as these teats go, you got to be real careful, because if you get them in any hot water for a long period of time, even for a minute or so, they'll take and split. Like this one did here. I used it for 2 days and it split. And this one here is the same way. I got 3 feedings out of that one before it split because of the hot water. So you got to be really careful how long you leave them in. After you've had them a while, like this one here, this one's probably 6-7 months to a year old. They don't split, but you got to go through a lot of them before you find the ones that won't split. And I'll show you. This is what they're called. J12 Teat Fusion. And they come individually blister packed. I don't think they're sterile, but they come in packed where nothing can get to them. Okay, now that we've discussed these, another tool that you can use to hand feed is a spoon. Now, I don't know how to feed with a spoon. You're going to have to YouTube it, because I've seen people do it, but I've never learned it myself. It's always taken me too much time to do it when I got other things, that other birds I'm trying to take care of and whatnot, so it makes it hard to do. But if you have a little baby and you want to bond with the bird yourself and it's yours, then the spoon is a safe bet. Now I'll go back over here to the lower lock. Okay. And you can read the package right there. It's got a syringe without needle. And it tells you the cc milliliters right there. And if you look right here at the top, this little spot right here, it says lure lock tip. That's very important, because like I said, if you get the hard tips like this, it's a lot harder to deal with them. If you get the jelly tip like a friend of mine has, the jelly chips work great. I didn't know they had them out until he showed it to me, because I've always used, like I said, I've always used this elements here. And I'll come back to this one a little bit. This here, if you plan on feeding babies for a long time, this is the way to go. I've used it a couple times. I'm left-handed, so it's a little complicated for me, and I learn with this, so I just stick with what I learn. Ain't no big deal. But this here was gave to me, and last time I priced them, they were like 35 bucks. I could be wrong, but that's the last price I seen them, was like 30 bucks. But they are well worth it. This one was gave to me, so. And these are, like I said, replaceable, and you can buy these in a bunch of different places, like Country Feathers and Southern Pet Supply online, just different little things like that. The syringes, any kind of surgical syringe would do, as long as it's a lower lock, it's fine. If you get the street tips, where these little things slide on there, they slide right back off real quick. And what I mean by street, let's see back over here. That is considered a street tip, because you can slide something on it. So if you get those kind of syringes, they're more difficult to deal with, and it's like an offset. They have offset to one side. This is in the middle. The other one have an offset right here, and it comes off the side. You can use them if you're comfortable with them, but I would advise using these teats with them. So as you can tell, these are all the different forms of different syringes you can use. But like I said, the best ones I think are the ones with the O-rings, because you tend to be able to use them longer and the plungers don't come off. So Thank you for tuning in to my episode of what utensils to use to feed a baby bird. And if you would please check out my channel, A Flock of Birds, on YouTube, and my Facebook page, facebook.com/A Flock of Birds. Thank you and have a good day.